Well, welcome everyone to our homecoming Sunday for the new church year, October 1st, 2017. Wow. Well, I'd like to begin by asking you a question which is not rhetorical, which means I want your feedback. First of all, I'll start by saying that all of creation is filled with the divine. And I'm going to ask you one question first. How do you see the divine in creation? What moves you in nature or in anything or anyone you see?
The preacher's voice.
Ooh.
We didn't hear.
The preacher's voice. La. Thank you.
Changing of the seasons.
Ooh. Yeah.
A beautiful piece of music.
Ooh.
People's eyes.
I see the divine in the birdies that are bathing in the water and swimming and drinking in the sunshine, butterflies. Okay, now moving to the next question. You ready? See what I'm doing? I'm waking up the inside. Okay, now we're going a little deeper. We learn in God's living word that we are made in the image and the likeness of God. So my next question is, what are the aspects of being particularly human as we define a human being? Some theologians believe that being human goes beyond what we actually see. But in being a person and a human being, what are the aspects of being a person? We think,
We feel.
we feel, we have hands and feet. Anything else?
We express.
Ooh.
What?
We express. Yes. Anything else?
We plan.
We plan. Very good. Our cerebral cortex helps us to know time and space and movement of time, past, present, and future. Very good. We have volition. We have free will to make choices.
We love.
We love. We love.
Fruit of the Spirit.
Fruit of the Spirit. Yeah, and all of that.
We also have greed.
We what?
We also have greed.
We have greed. Thank you.
And also, sometimes we hate to.
Yes, we do.
Being human. Freedom of choice.
We fear. Yes.
We reflect.
We reflect. We play and laugh.
We have power.
We have power. And we
We
make
want more
effect.
power.
We want more. Yeah. Yeah, we want dominion, don't we? Dominion. And I'm looking for a very specific answer, which I haven't heard yet. Woo-hoo. What will it be?
Give us a hint, no. Sounds like.
Oh, that's a great answer. It's not the one I'm fishing for.
What did she say?
Create,
Okay.
which is
Wow.
excellent. I didn't think of that. That's a great answer. We are co-creators in this amazing place that we call home on earth. Great answer. I'm still fishing.
That's the question. How do we?
So what qualities make us human? All right, because of time, I'm going to give you the bait. All right. And, you know, there are so many answers and all of you are right. All of you are absolutely 100% correct in your answers. And there's so many more. But the one that is moving me today to share with you about coming home is that we long for things.
We
Don't
dream.
we? What do we long for? What?
We dream.
We dream. Excellent. That's a cousin or a sibling of longing. Is
Yeah.
dreaming. It's a little bit more on the up. Dreaming is, I think, a little bit more hopeful
Hopeful, yeah.
than longing.
Right.
but it's there, it's right with it.
Mhm.
So we long, what kind of things do we long for?
Oh.
Boy, yeah, Wendy, that's it.
Peace
This is
is,
the perfect day to have you.
peace. Did you
Thank
say
you.
peace?
What'd you
Jack
say?
and I both said peace. Oh,
Peace.
somebody did.
Somebody
Somebody
said peace? Well, Barb prayed for peace
Okay.
earlier. She gave thanks for peace.
Peace in our souls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right, peace is a huge one on many levels.
I feel like we only long for the things that are very, very basic,
Mm.
basic needs, like feelings, like love, peace, happiness, acceptance, success,
Yeah.
just to be content, like.
And it's so hard sometimes, elusive, isn't it? Yeah. Very good, Jack. Anything else?
Fellowship.
What?
Here.
Fellowship.
Fellowship, sorry, this is my deaf ear.
Relationship.
Yeah, fellowship, very relationship. It's not good for people to be alone. It's good to be with. Put it in the positive.
Happiness.
Happiness, we long for happiness.
Music.
Music, is that Barb? Ooh, didn't know that about you. All right. Health, life. I mean, that's a basic, right? I just long for health.
I'd say reunion.
Ooh, yeah.
What?
Reunion. I want to share something with you, and I hope those of you who are with us in spirit through the camera, I'll be right back. Okay, in this precious bag is a symbol of something I long for. What?
Fudge.
No, but Joe bought us some, we're gonna have some later. I think. We haven't eaten it already. Now, this is kind of delicate, so I have to be careful. There is a sister, a nun at Beaumont where I work, and she just spent a week and a half in Oregon. And she knows, and in California, and she knows that Rhett and I grew up there, Oregon and California. And she went to the Redwood Forest.
Hmm.
You ever been there? Uh-oh. Inside this bubble wrap is wood and bark from the redwood forest. And it may seem dry and fairly insignificant, but ever since I was a little girl, that has always been the redwood forest in my soul. Because when our parents took us to the redwood forest, that was where I first knew God. I don't know if you've been in a place in nature or with people that bring you to that presence. But I long to go home to the redwoods, even though, bless you, even though the redwood forest isn't over there. Where is it? I never left. And it never left me. And this reminds me, if I use my cerebral cortex, I realize that this is a piece of bark. And it only points me to the direction of where it is living, which is within. There once was a young man who just finished his first term of college, and he longed for home. There once was a soldier who was shot and injured in a foxhole, and all he could think about was home. There once was a foster child who sat in his room and said, I don't have a home. There once was a man and composer named Rachmaninoff who went through a spiritual desert. He lost his sense of home. And for years he couldn't compose. And then all of a sudden, inexplicably, And suddenly, he writes his third piano concerto, which is exquisite. He says, I went home. The Israelite people in the Old Testament that we read about in our Sunday school lessons and as adults as we reflect on God's living word, which is a journey from Genesis to Revelation, the Israelites were captive in Egypt, were captive in Babylon, Assyria. They were captive so much of their journey in life as a story of a people. And what did they long for? Canaan. This land that to them meant they were home and with their God. So we have this quality in us that longs for things, that are very deep. So where are these experiences coming from? Where is this longing coming from? And I would suggest and propose to you today that longing that we have, and we long for things, we long for our loved ones who have crossed over, we long to be with them again. All these different ways that we long as human beings. And that is deeply implanted at the deepest level of the ultimate sense, of the ultimate source in us. Jesus said, in my Father's house, there are many rooms. There are many mansions. And I go to prepare a place just for you. And if I go there, I will prepare that place and you will join me there. Which means there's a place in us from the very beginning where we belong, and it is just for us. And it's a place that is deep, and that longing, and I believe that in this life, that we're given these experiences of longing because of where we're going. And as Barb Taranjo and I and Theron were reading this morning, we were reading about how anytime we experience something significant in a day, anytime in any day we experience a significant moment, we are actually experiencing our beginning and our end. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We're being prepared for what is eternal, which is our home. Emanuel Swedenborg suggests, and it's for me to introduce this thought to you, that when we enter into the spiritual realm, there is a home and a place for us that isn't a physical place, but it's a place where we dwell with others who are similar in what we love. Have you ever met somebody or you've known somebody and it's just so easy? You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to defend yourself. You notice similar things that come in a moment when you're together, and you laugh, and there's joy, and there's peace, and there's a sense of presence. That's heaven right now. And if we can find that, if we can gear our compass toward those people and experiences, we are being prepared to understand and to feel the divine itself. We don't have to wait. If we're longing for meaning and we're empty, and we all go through these times because it's a part of being human and divine in us, we all go through these longing, empty moments because there's something more coming, and we sense it, and we're created to long for home. So my closing question to you is, what draws you here as your spiritual home? And if you feel like sharing that, please do. You don't have to. But what draws you here again for another church year? And another question is, where do you feel most at home? Would anybody like to say? Where do you feel most at home?
At home.
That means he loves me and we're in a good home. All right, shwing. All right, at home. Anyone else?
I come here for community.
When I'm with you here, I actually am the happiest of all the days of the week. And I, bless you. And I don't I mean, I can explain it theologically, I can tell you why I think that's true, but my heart is happy here with you. So that's a signal that I'm right now in the right place. Anyone else?
Alma.
Ooh. It's our retreat center where all generations, all different ages gather to have fun and learn and grow. I'll tell you, anyone else? Did I see yes?
I'm at home mostly when I'm being used to love someone else.
Beautiful. That was my answer. And in that light, I feel when I'm praying, which leads me to that, to helping others, that I feel the Lord and I feel the divine and I feel at home wherever I am. So if I'm on the road, if I'm at Barb's house or Irma's house for Women's Alliance, if I'm listening to Joel or Karen or anyone sing, if I'm with Jack at his grandma's, if I'm with Mary in her garden, Charlie and Nancy's for worship or fun, if I'm with Alan at a restaurant eating food, which is fun, if I'm with Larry and Linda, they've invited me to their home, it's a peaceful place. Wherever I go, if I'm in that place of worship, service, and love, I'm home. And I used to be the kind of person who was empty a lot. I used to feel empty a lot. But now, overflowing. Praise be to the one whose love brings us home. Amen. And so we, before we actually pass the collection plate, we have a gift. Bryce, Wendy, and Rhett have a song to share with us, one voice.
So this is a song that Wendy, we went on a Course in Miracles retreat in May?
Can't get over that.
Seems like it was further back. And we worked up this song independently. We're in different parts of the country, and then we came together at the retreat and sang it for our friends. And just a week ago, I suggested that we do it again. So if my voice will get through this, it will. We will now perform this for you. This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too, the sound of me singing with you. helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices free, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices free. This is the sound of voices free. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it will turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one choice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
Good job.
Now let us continue with the offering as we give blessing for the church. You wanna help?
Coming, so it's Christmas.
Got a little booth going. With that, yeah.